Deputy Healy-Rae.
Thanks very much, Chairman. I suppose, first of all, I welcome you in here, and we're sorry that he had to come in here because of your plight. And it's something that I can empathise with very much. And indeed, when I was highlighting other rivers in Kerry, I always mention the fact that the Shannon hasn't been cleaned out or dredged since it was last done by the English in the 1880s. And likewise in Kerry, we have several rivers, and I'll just give you an example of one river, the Flisk. And from going back to 2008 or 9, it was actually coming out on the N22, and it was flooding in 22 maybe for a day or two, and that's the main road between, take you from Tralee through Killarney and on for Cork. It was holding up ambulances, they had to go around, and there was delays and everything, and maybe that would be one of the reasons that could be classed as an emergency, but that used to go down as well, and the ambulance could go again. So there was, I took deputation after deputation into the town hall in Killarney when I was a councillor for the Killarney electoral area, and we got all kinds of answers that would, that would only reduce the level of the flood by 10 millimetres. And as I say, they agreed to let us clean the river, but all they allowed us to do was to clear the bushes. And that was done with the help of Minister Boxer Morton. We brought him down and showed him what was going on. He gave us the funding for a minor flood relief scheme to clear the river, and in 2018 we did it. And they wouldn't let us clear the silt, they wouldn't let us clear the heaps of gravel, but we just cleared the bushes, and a great job was done. And that was 2018. The national primary route wasn't flooded since. The flooding anywhere as much out on the lands. There was lands that were flooded for days and days, but it used to go again when it stopped raining. But that's a perfect example. Not that it alone did it reduce it 10 millimetres, I'd say it would have it reduced by 10 feet in flood. That's gospel truth. That road is clear now, and we've had several heavy rain day after day, even this year, and no sign of it coming near the road. So, and like we have several rivers, and they tell us then there's one particular river, and the mouth of it is blocked, and it's flooding hundreds of acres of land, and they're saying we can't touch that because it is in an SSC. That will never be touched now. And I mean, it is so ridiculous. I mean, people's livelihoods, and your land is being devalued just because somebody else says because of the climate change and all different reasons, they'll throw everything at you. You can't do it. And even one poor man was so bad, he went into the river himself, and they threatened to bring the guards to him and everything if he didn't even actually bring whatever few loads of gravel he'd taken out with the tractor. They made him bring it back and heel it out inside the river again. That's what's going on. And I mean, climate change, and like my Deputy Fitzmaurice said there, and Sean said it as well, this is another obstacle. And like we in Kerry know that we've had flood situations before. There was a house in the National Park in 1860, and the flood didn't come anywhere near it now. It was rebuilt. It was completely washed away. There was a townland in Guinea-Willa back in 1897, and there were no combustible engines around that time. But all the bog in Guinea-Willa, it is known as the place of the moving bog, that was washed down into the lakes of Killarney. All the ways down into the lakes of Killarney, 12 miles away. And there was one family completely washed away, their house was washed away, and only one child survived because he was gone to a neighbour's house. Donnelly's, that house was washed away and the whole family was wiped out except for one. And I mean, these events happened, and now we're told that it is all because of climate change, and that this is why we're being flooded and the people of Middleton. The facts are the rivers haven't been cleaned out, and I'm glad that some people in Middleton were compensated, and some people in Louth were compensated, and hopefully, when there's a precedent set, that they'll have to pay everyone else that's going to be flooded, because we're going to have a lot more of it. Unless they're going to raise the roads and lift up the houses, there's going to be way more flooding. And the big problem here, you mentioned it, Mr. Sick, when I was upstairs. I was listening because I'm interested in this, and I'm sorry for your plight. Your land is being devalued, and you're getting no real satisfaction for it. So like all the other people that there's the Hinahara designation or whatever it is, it's like daylight robbery. That some people's houses are raided at night and their money is taken, but this is open daylight robbery what's happening. Your land, when we talk of acres, 25 or 30 acres, do you know what it costs to buy that amount of land now? 700,000 or 800,000 for maybe 35 acres, and like the production of that, you're losing that all the time. And look, it's absolutely ridiculous, Chairman, what's going on in our country. And when you talk about the local elections and the European elections coming up, I'm sure that someone will take up this issue and run on that issue alone, because it's only common sense. If we would that bottle of water there and we're all throwing marbles into it, won't the water soon come out over the top? Sure, it's only common sense. And these rivers will have to be cleaned out. And you know, our river, the Flesh, that we cleaned out, that we cleaned the bushes out of, there's a way more fish in it now, because fish need daylight.
Minutes, Deputy.
All right, I'm sorry. Look, I'd like the lads to answer, but it doesn't help the fish to keep them in the dark and the sunlight getting into them. So, look, we're with you 100%, and we understand what's wrong. And I have to saying that hounds are somewhere being seen after, but the farmers are not properly being seen after, and just he'll get compensation for 1 year maybe, and even though that it isn't adequate, he may not get it next year, because we don't know who'll be in power or what the story will be. So it's wrong, Chairman. Look, and I'm sorry, and I'm very grateful to get the opportunity, but I do support these people that are coming here to you this evening.
Thank you, Deputy.